Hey guys, this is lesson 7.6 for pre-algebra. 7.6 is graphing inequalities. So the title of the paper is solving two-step inequalities. So if you remember, there are a couple key things. Remember, if it is just a greater than sign, it's open. If it's just a less than sign, it's open. And then remember, if there's this little line underneath, it's a closed circle. So if there's this little line, then it's closed. Okay, so here's two quick examples. X is greater than or equal to -4. So I go to -4, it's going to be an open circle, and then it's going to be everything greater than. So you have to graph inequalities. The next one, y is less than or equal to 7. I go to 7, I fill in my circle, and I go everything less than or equal to 7. Okay, so solving two-step inequalities. So try this problem, and then we will go over it. Okay, so I'm going to draw my line. I'm going to add 3 to both sides. So then I have 2y is less than or equal to -5 plus 3 is -2. And then I divide by 2 on both sides. So y is less than or equal to -1. Now this one doesn't say, or it does say to also graph. So then you have to sketch a graph. Now, you don't have to do one with all those tick marks. All you need to do is make sure you have this number represented, which is -1. That was my answer right there. And then do 2 numbers on either side. So then, there, my graph is done. It doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be enough information so I can tell what my answer is. So now, I go to -1. I make it in a filled-in circle, and it's everything less than or equal to -1. All right, so try these two, and then we'll go over. Okay, so I'm going to draw my line. I'm going to add 9 to both sides. So then I get 5a is greater than 20. I divide by 5, so a is greater than 4. I'm going to draw my graph. I put 4 in the middle, and then I'm going to put 5 here, 3 here. I'm going to say, okay, it's an open circle because there's no little line, and it's everything greater than. All right, here we have a fraction. So first I'm going to start with this 6, add 6 to both sides. So -10 plus 6 is -4, is greater than or equal to -1/2 x. So now I'm going to multiply by the reciprocal, which is -2/1, multiply by -2/1. Now, I'm multiplying or dividing by a negative, so that means I have to switch my sign. So, I have my x over here. I switch my sign to go this way, and my answer goes, instead of -4 here, it goes to a +8 because I'm multiplying by a negative. So it goes to a +8. So when I graph this, I put 8 in the middle, 9 and 7, and then I have a closed circle at 8, and x is greater than, I'm reading it backwards, so x is greater than or equal to 8. So I need to draw my arrow that way. Okay, so remember, sometimes you have to reverse the inequality symbol. So try this one again. It's just like that last one. If you got that wrong, we'll try one more. So I'm going to draw my line. I'm going to -6 from both sides. So that's -15 is greater than -1/3 x. I'm going to multiply both sides by the reciprocal, -3/1. And when I multiply by a negative, I have to reverse my sign. So x, I'm going to reverse my sign, is greater than -3 times -15 is a +45. I draw my graph, put 45 in the middle, 46, 44, and then I have an open circle, and x is greater than 45. Okay, so try these two. One has decimals, one is normal. All right, so first I'm going to add 2.7 to both sides. So then this becomes 11 is less than negative 0.5b. So then I'm going to divide by negative 0.5. Whoops. So then I'm dividing by negative, so that means I need to switch my sign. So I do that, and then I have my b. And then if you don't know what this is, you're going to put 0.5 on the outside, divided by 11. I move my decimal one time. So 5 goes into 11 twice, which is 10, and then I bring a 0 down. 5 goes into 10 twice. So my answer is 22 is greater than b. So when I draw my graph, I put 22 in the middle, 23 and 21. And then I have an open circle, and b is less than 22. I'm reading it backwards again because the b is on this side. All right, next problem. I'm going to minus 4 from both sides. So I get negative 2m is less than 30. I divide by negative 2. Now, that's a dividing by negative, so I have to switch my sign. M is greater than negative 15. So I draw my graph real quickly. That is an open circle, and m is greater than, so it's going to go this way. Okay, so now we have a couple of story problems. An expedition leader estimates that a group of hikers can carry less than 550 pounds of food and equipment. The group must carry 336 pounds of equipment as well as 25 pounds of food for each climber. What is the greatest possible number of people in the expedition? So I know that this is my total, less than 550. So I know I have to be less than 550 pounds. Okay? I can carry 336 pounds of equipment. So I'm going to start with that, 336 pounds of equipment, plus 25 pounds of food for each climber. Now that's my one that has my variable because the number of climbers can change. I could have 4 climbers, I could have 5 climbers, I could have 7. Okay? So there is my equation. So now I can solve it. So I'm going to minus 336. So then I get 25x is less than 214. Now I'm going to divide by 25. So then I put 25 on the outside divided by 214. Well, I know 25 can go into 200 8 times. So 8 times 25 is 200. I have 14 left over. I can bring down a 0. 25 can go into 140 5 times, which is 125. And then you can leave it as this, 8.5. So really, it would be 8 people because you can't have a half a person and you can't go over the 550 because it was less than 550. So it would be 8 climbers. So try this one and then we will go over it. Try to figure out the equation. Okay, a stereo salesperson earns a salary of $1,900 per month plus a commission of 4% of sales. The salesperson wants to maintain a monthly income of at least $2,200. How much must the salesperson sell each month? All right, so they earn a salary of $1,900 per month. So that doesn't change. Plus, they tell you right there, plus a commission of 4% of sales. Well, I don't know what the sales are, and I'm going to do 4%, which is 0.04 times X, because X is the sales. They want to maintain a monthly income of at least $2,200. So it has to be greater than or equal to $2,200. It can't be less than. They want that at least. So it cannot be less than. So I'm going to minus 1,900 from both sides. So then I get 0.4x is greater than or equal to 300. And then I need to divide. So 0.04 divided by 300. So I'm going to move my decimal 2 times. So 4 goes into 3, no. So 4 goes into 30. I'm doing just these 2 digits. 4 can go into 30 7 times, which is 28. I'm left with 2. Bring down the 0. 4 goes into 25 times. And then bring down another 0. Can 4 go into 0? No. And then it would just be keep being zeros. So it'd be $7,500 in sales. All right, that is it for your notes.